Hello and welcome. On behalf of Bishwobeena-Harmony with Tagore, I invite you to the second session of the Tagore Festival 2021. Today, we mark the 160th birth anniversary of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. Ponchishe Boishakh, or Robindra Jayanti, as we call in Bengali, is probably the most auspicious day in the Bengali cultural calendar. This year, in the middle of a catastrophic pandemic peak in Tagore's birthplace, India, we bring you our special offering, Tagore, the Harbinger of Hope. To take us through this journey today, we have two extremely gifted, internationally acclaimed, and versatile artists. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce them formally. Sasha Ghoshal was born in Canada. He studied business and law, and then with multiple scholarships from Shastri Institute, he has pursued his passion for music and theatre full-time from 2009. Currently based in London, Sasha is pioneering an effort to bring Bengali musical theatre works of Tagore to the English audience with his own translations. Before coming to London, he was in India for 8 years as an award-winning popular singer of Rabindra Sangeet. Our other guest for today is Rohini Raychaudhuri. She has received extensive training in Rabindra Sangeet from her father, Debashish Raychaudhuri, and the premier institution Dakshini in Kolkata. Rohini is one of the rarest artists of her generation who has received formal training in opera singing. She was the recipient of the Young Artist Scholarship from the Ministry of Culture, India. Debashish and Rohini Raychaudhuri, the famous father-daughter duo, is well known for their albums and programs based on significant and specialized research of Tagore. Let's invite Sasha and Rohini onto the stage, or if I may say, onto the screen. Sasha and Rohini, welcome.
Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
Welcome to our Tagore Festival. Rohini, you have already appeared once in this festival. Sasha, it's an absolute honor to have you for the first time in our platform.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm very excited today.
Okay, so Ponchishe Boishakh this year, or if I may say 2 years in a row now, we are in a pandemic situation. So how do you both see that this Ponchishe Boishakh or the last one is different from the others like you had in the past in your whole life?
Sasha, would you like to talk about it first?
Sure. Okay. Well, the main difference for me, and I'm sure Rohini will agree, is we don't get to see each other during this time. It's so strange that we're not in the rush of,
Right.
heading from Salt Lake to South Calcutta to North Calcutta and, trying to get Rabindranath's songs heard all across the city. It's very strange to be online, to not be with our musician brothers and sisters, and to have the chats, just the daily quotidian life. Even like I'm missing it very, very much. So it's very strange to be so remote from all of you while this is going on. This is like a day. It's almost like the Rabindrik Jagoter Christmas. So very strange not to be with people.
Yes, absolutely. Because as Ashada has said, that Ponchishe Boishakh is a day when we start off very early in the morning and hop around the stages in various places around the city, and there is a huge queue of artists waiting for their turns to sing, and that's a very fun experience actually, and that too amidst a very hot summer here in Kolkata. uh, the last year and this one as well is very different, but uh, having said that, and having said that, like that I'm missing the human contact, I must also say that due to this pandemic situation, we have been able to sort of connect with all the continents around us, and it has become global
Absolutely.
now, not just the local
Absolutely.
That's a
Rabindra
very
Jayanti
good
that we
point.
have.
It's a
Like,
very
look at
good
us
point. Yeah.
today. We are
Yes,
literally connecting three continents. Sasha from London, Rohini from Kolkata, and I'm from Sydney.
absolutely.
Mhm.
That's
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
great.
Yeah.
That's
No
great.
doubt about that. It's
There are
great. And
limitations.
yeah,
There are
you
limitations, but yeah,
you make do with the situation that you're given. But
yeah, the
I
best
still
that
think
we
that
can.
we would prefer that all of you from Australia could visit during this time, and we would see you in
Exactly.
person in halls, and let us return to that one day very soon.
Let us
Yes,
hope.
let's hope. Let's hope. Let's hope that
Mm.
we return to that soon. Yeah.
Sure.
And today we have a theme actually is Tagore, the Harbinger of Hope. So let us
Yes.
start with this hope.
Great.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Rohini, if I may start with you, that
Sure.
to the best of my knowledge, you kind of inherited Tagore, like from both sides of your family. So would you like to elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, yes, I am born in a family which is so steeped into Rabindranath's creations from both the sides, my father and my mother, that I really don't remember a day when I didn't know what Rabindra Sangit is or who Rabindranath is. He almost, when I was a child, he almost felt like someone from my family, like a grandfather, Dadu. So yeah, and in fact, I quite casually refer to him as Dadu. So
I think all of us do that.
yeah, so yeah, that's a very fun feeling, and I remember when I was a kid, uh, we used to go to Jorashakot Thakur Bari, Rabindranath's ancestral home in Kolkata, every Pochishe Boishakh morning, because my father used to sing there. And then afterwards, after his performance was over, we used to go to the room where Tagore was born, and we used to go around the entire Thakur
Wow.
Bari. And that was a really great experience. It felt so
Amazing.
nice to be at that particular space where he was born. So that was kind of a ritual every year. So it's, I think I must say that I'm lucky to have inherited this legacy. Yeah.
Okay, why don't you start with the song for us?
Yes. The song that I'm going to sing first is it talks about a new dawn. We are all waiting for actually, which will be devoid of all this COVID scare and all this 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 is so absurd, the situation that we are in right now. Uh, so we are waiting, we are hoping for a new dawn to come, and I'm singing of that new dawn. Mm. জয় হোক নবরুণোদয়, জয় 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 হোক, জয় হোক পূর্ব দিগঞ্চল হোক জ্যোতির্ময়, জয় হোক, জয় হোক। এসো অপরাজিত বাণী অসত্য হানি এসো অপরাজিত বাণী অসত্য হানি অপহত শঙ্কা অপগত সংশয় জয় 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 হোক জয় হোক এসো নবজাগ্রত প্রাণ চির যৌবন জয় গান এসো নবজাগ্রত প্রাণ চির যৌবন জয় গান এসো মৃত্যুঞ্জয় আশা জড়ত্ব নাশা এসো মৃত্যুঞ্জয় আশা জড়ত্ব নাশা ক্রন্দন দূর হোক বন্ধন হোক ক্ষয় জয় 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 হোক জয় হোক নবরুণোদয় জয় 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 হোক জয় হোক
Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rohini. Esho mrityunjaya asha, jorotto nasha.
So it talks about the
Yeah.
hope which defeats death.
Right.
Which remains alive amidst death. Yeah.
Sasha, if I can come to you now, that how was your orientation to Tagore? Like, how did he come into your life?
You know, yeah, like unlike, I guess if you want to think of Rohini as Rabindric royalty, so to speak, right? From both of her sides, she has this wonderful legacy. I was born and raised in Toronto, Canada, and from both sides of my family, no one was really into the music scene or anything. I mean, they all very much appreciated Rabindranath's, works. And my mother did a little bit of singing and a little bit of dancing, but it wasn't anywhere near, Rohini's family's level. But being in Toronto, I not only had parents who very much always encouraged music and the arts. So, whether it be piano, we were very lucky that in Toronto, we had Gitugitan School of Music open a wing under Sri Ashok Das, late Sri Ashok Das. So I'd started there. There was classical, the Hindustani classical training. So I started under Srimati Shanti Chakraborty, again, late Srimati Shanti Chakraborty, who was a Tansen Award recipient. So we were very lucky that the culture of Bengal and of India at large was very much present while we were growing up. But we, as second generation Bengalis, it was a little more difficult for us to, even understand what was going on. So I remember during weekends when my friends in school would ask me, what did you get up to on the weekend? How come you weren't with us? And it was because, I was at a Ganer practice or, a rehearsal or something like that. And at the time I was even almost kind of embarrassed by it because it all seemed so alien to me. There used to be lots of beautiful concerts and plays, and I particularly remember being outside of, say, Chitrangada is going on inside, and we're playing ball hockey outside. But I remember that the songs that I used to hear used to really attract me, and I used to wonder, what is the meaning of all this? Now, it just so happens that my Boro Jatamoshai, who's no longer with us, he was an avid Tagore reader, and he had an entire collection of Tagore songs. Not only songs, sorry, but his poems, his plays, everything. He was basically a walking encyclopedia of Tagore. And I just so happened to pick up in his library a copy of a translated Gitanjali. And thou hast made me endless, such is thy pleasure. And I remember like a wave taking over me, and then I became obsessed and I started asking when my parents would sing a song or something or play a song, what's the meaning of this? And then I just kind of got into it that way. And he's been with me ever since. I made a career of it, very luckily, and still going.
We are glad that you were into it at a very young age and you stayed in that.
Thank you.
So yours was a journey, actually.
It was, yeah. I mean, leaving Toronto, I remember that when I decided, in fact, I was in India. So I had gone to business school, I had gone to law school because I had to show my parents, look, I'm doing what you want me to do, but my heart was never in it. And whether you call it a curse or a good thing, like I just so happened to be just good enough at studies that people would say, you should be doing this. Why, why would you consider anything else? But I went on a scholarship through the Shastri Indo-Canadian Institute to learn Indian classical from Pandit Arun Bhaduri, Pandit Phalguni Mitro, and Rabindra Sangit from Promita Mashi, Srimati Promita Mallik. And it, again, just became an obsession until I was offered a record deal from HMV at the time. And that's when I made the decision, I think this is what I want to do, actually. Music just attracts me so much, and Rabindranath's music. And I decided to stay in Kolkata, actually, to pursue that, because everyone told me, unless you're here, there's no way that, a career is going to happen. And I remember when I told my father, he just fell from the sky and he basically said, do not expect any support from me, almost like cutting me off. But then, luckily enough, after hearing that first album, he said, I think maybe you've made the right decision. So that was very, very precious. Yeah.
That's amazing. So, Sasha, what are you going to sing for us? Like, what are you, like, you'll be singing a lot, I guess, but what are you going to start with?
Yeah. Well, Rohini explained it so beautifully. The fact that the hope remains, and then this entire show is about hope. Going through life, like I'm just thinking about all the moments of hardship and what we're going through right now. You still see what human beings are doing for each other, and we still kind of maintain that faith, and you realize that, for those of us who believe in a higher power, I think if you sing Rabindranath songs, then there's no way you can't believe in a higher power. It's just kind of embedded in the music. So his touch is everywhere, and that's what this next song is about. Going on this journey of life, who knows when we find your touch? পথে চলে যেতে যেতে, পথে চলে যেতে যেতে, কোথা কোনখানে তোমার পরশ আসে, কখন কে জানে, কখন পথে চলে যেতে যেতে, পথে চলে যেতে যেতে, কি অচেনা কুসুমের গন্ধে, কি গোপন আপন আনন্দে, কোন পথিকে কোন গানে তোমার পরশ আসে, কখন কে জানে, কখন পথে চলে যেতে যেতে, সহসা দারুণ দুঃখ তাপে, সকল ভুবন যবে কাঁপে, ভুবন যবে কাঁপে, সকল পথের ঘোচে চিহ্ন, সকল বাঁধন যবে ছিন্ন, মৃত্যু আঘাত লাগে প্রাণে, তোমার পরশ আসে কখন কে জানে কখন পথে চলে যেতে যেতে পথে চলে যেতে যেতে
আহা,
Amazing.
অ্যামেজিং। এই কথাগুলো ভাবি যে মৃত্যু আঘাত লাগে প্রাণে, তোমার পরশ আসে কখন কে জানে।
Exactly. Even in death, your touch is there,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Rohini, we come back to you, I think.
Hmm.
I would like to ask you that Sasha was singing this song, and this is that he always gives us a ray of hope, even with Mrityu Aghat. So, do you think Rabindranath teaches us to be resilient
Oh yes.
with all
Oh
this?
yes.
How do you see that?
I don't think there is any other poet who can teach us to be resilient more than him, because the kind of personal crisis that he has been through and the kind of troubled times that he has seen in his life, even in the global scenario, the national scenario, even after that, when he talks about this eternal hope, of course, I mean, who could be a better teacher
Exactly.
for resilience, a lesson in resilience, right? Yes, of course. And I think, again, I am privileged that I've come to know even a part of his creation. That is how it is seeing me through this troubled times. Absolutely. I mean, it's very, very, very much needed.
Right.
So
what are you going to sing for us?
the song that I have chosen, the next one, this was composed in 1905 during the anti-partition movement of Bengal. So basically, it's a patriotic song.
Yeah.
This was composed during a national crisis, like I was telling you, that he has seen so many. So that was in the context of a national crisis. But somehow today, now when we are going through a global crisis, which is again becoming our personal crisis, it's again very, very relevant. I would like to read out the English. It's not exactly the English translation, it's not a literal translation, but it conveys the same mood. This poem is in Crossing by Rabindranath, and I just want to read it out. Hold thy faith firm, my heart, the day will dawn. The seed of promise is deep in the soil, it will sprout. Sleep, like the bud, will open its heart to light, and the silence will find its voice. The day is near when thy burden will become thy gift, and thy sufferings will light up thy path.
Ah,
So let me sing this song,
Sure.
which talks about being resilient. নিষেদিন ভরসা রাখিস, হবেই হবে, ওরে মন হবেই হবে। নিষেদিন ভরসা রাখিস, হবেই হবে, ওরে মন হবেই হবে। যদি পণ করে থাকিস, সে পণ তোমার রবে রবে, ওরে মন হবেই হবে। নিষেদিন ভরসা রাখিস, হবেই হবে, ওরে মন হবেই হবে, পাষাণ সমান আছে পড়ে, প্রাণ পেশে উঠবে ওরে, পাষাণ সমান আছে পড়ে, প্রাণ পেশে উঠবে ওরে, আছে যারা বোবার মতন, তারাও কথা কবে কবে, ওরে মন হবেই হবে, নিশিদিন ভরসা রাখিস, হবেই হবে, ওরে মন হবেই হবে। সময় হলো, সময় হলো, যে যার আপন বোঝা তোলো রে, সময় হলো, সময় হলো, যে যার আপন বোঝা তোলো রে, দুঃখ যদি মাথায় ধরিস, সে দুঃখ তোর সবে সবে, ওরে মন হবেই হবে। ঘন্টা যখন উঠবে বেজে, দেখবি সবাই আসবে সেজে, ঘন্টা যখন উঠবে বেজে, দেখবি সবাই আসবে সেজে, একসাথে সব যাত্রী যত, একই রাস্তা লবে লবে, ওরে মন হবেই হবে, নিশিদিন ভরসা রাখিস, হবেই হবে, ওরে মন হবেই হবে, নিশিদিন ভরসা রাখিস, হবেই হবে, ওরে মন হবেই হবে।
So wonderful. I have to say one thing. Do I have time to say one thing, Nilanjana Di? Just about Rohini in general. So not only it's a general rule, it's known in Rabindric circles that Rohini is a favorite partner of all the male singers. Why? Because she sings so in tune, and she sings she can sing. She has a very wide range, right? But what I especially appreciate just right now, not only the choice of the song, but that hobby, the way she pronounces that, enunciates that, it just gives you the faith, like it's like every word that she's singing,
Yep.
she's understanding and emoting in that way, and that's what gives the faith. It's not just a matter of singing the songs, but it's like really believing them and then expressing it. So I was just sitting here sipping my cup of tea and enjoying that song so much. Wonderful.
Thank you,
Thank
Sasha.
you.
That
Thank you,
means a lot.
Sasha. Hold on to that thought. We will come back to that later. But
Sure.
for me, that where Rohini is sitting now in India, probably
Yeah.
they are going through the worst phase of the pandemic
Yeah.
at this stage.
Yes.
And sitting there, the way she's singing hobby, hobby, she's actually spreading that hope across us, you and me, who cannot go. And we know all our loved ones are suffering there. We cannot go, cannot do anything, cannot
Exactly.
touch them, nothing. So
It's
Rohini,
almost
thank you
like
for that
telling
hobby, hobby.
myself. It's almost like telling myself and trying to convince myself.
I can see that. I can see that. It's completely understandable, but you all have been very, very brave during this time, and we're seeing how much people are coming to each other's aid during this time. And just the dirty politics that are going on there during this time. And, the common people are the ones who are helping each other out, actually. And Rabindranath always believed that. He always believed that, politicians and famous people won't do anything for you. It will be your fellow man, the religion of mankind.
Right. Come back to you, Sasha. What are you singing for us next?
Well, thank you for bringing up the whole issue of India, because, I also would like to sing a song that is for India right now. You just see the disgusting level to which sin has risen among the elite, who aren't doing anything for people right now, and they're just more busy politicizing every single matter when this is just simply a matter of humanity. So Rabindranath had written a beautiful song it was a prayer song. Please look over this India, bring the faith, let India be guarded and guided by your light and by your will. I see sin everywhere around me, but the hope still exists that we will rise. So I'd like to sing that. हे भारते राखो नित्य प्रभु तब शुभ आशीर्वाद तुम्हारो अभय तुम्हारो अजित অমৃত বাণী তোমারো স্থির অমর আশা এ ভারতে রাখো নিত্য প্রভু তব শুভ আশীর্বাদ অনির্বাণ ধর্ম আলো সবার ঊর্ধ্বে জালো জালো সংকটে দুর্দিনে রাখো তারে অরণ্যে তোমারি পথে ভারতে রাখো নিত্য প্রভু তব শুভ আশীর্বাদ বক্ষে বাঁধি দাও তার বর্ম তব নির্বিদার নিঃসঙ্গে যেন সঞ্চরে নির্ভীক পাপেরো নিরখি জয় নিষ্ঠা তবুও রয় থাকে তব চরণে অটল বিশ্বাসে এ ভারতে রাখো নিত্য প্রভু তব শুভ আশীর্বাদ।
We really needed this prayer, Sasha.
Thank you so much, Sasha. We definitely needed this prayer for India.
Well, thank you all for appreciating. Rohini, doesn't this happen to you where I think unlike any other poet or songwriter, we often, those of us who sing these songs, they feel so much like our own words that we kind of like almost take pride in having just sung the words and the tune that, Rabindranath has left for us, actually. So I just always feel like that. Yeah. I just always feel like that. Like these are absolutely my words. I appreciate and the brilliant works of the greats, right? But nothing feels so much like they are your own words, even they're such high level words.
Exactly. It's
And
so
if we may continue that line, what Sasha has said, that feeling them their own words, I'll like to come to Rohini, that Can you think of something? I'm sure we all have a lots and lots of Rabindra Sangeet we can think of as us. But like during this pandemic, all of us, none of us can say that we have not struggled in different levels, personal crises, national crises, family, everything. So can you think of, like Sasha said, this song, that any specific song that come to your mind during the time of personal crisis, like you can relate with that very well?
Yes, of course. There's one song which keeps coming back to me whenever I'm in crisis or whenever I feel that mm, I've been deprived of something I deserve, or I've been betrayed, most importantly. And these words console me like nothing else can ever. As Sashada said, that it becomes my words. It's no longer a poem written by another poet. It's not that. It's absolutely my own words. So again, this is a song from Gitanjali. This is the second song,
Mhm.
second poetry in Gitanjali. And there is an English translation in the song Offerings, the English Gitanjali. So let me first read that and then I'll sing the song. My desires are many and my cry is pitiful, but ever didst thou save me by hard refusals, and this strong mercy has been wrought into my life through and through. Day by day, thou art making me worthy of the simple great gifts that thou gavest to me unasked. The sky and the light, this body and the life and the mind, saving me from perils of overmuch desire. There are times when I languidly linger, and times when I awaken and hurry in search of my goal. But cruelly thou hidest thyself from before me. Day by day thou art making me worthy of thy full acceptance by refusing me ever and anon, saving me from perils of weak, uncertain desire. These are
আমি
such
বহু
strong
বাসনায় প্রাণপণে
words.
চাই.
Weak and
Wonderful.
uncertain desires. Often we don't really know what we are asking for, whether it's at all good for us or not,
Sure.
right?
Yeah. Wonderful.
Let me sing the song. It's very close to my heart. আমি বহু বাসনায় প্রাণপণে চাই, বঞ্চিত করে বাঁচালে মোরে। আমি বহু বাসনায় প্রাণপণে চাই, বঞ্চিত করে বাঁচালে মোরে। এ কৃপা কঠোর সঞ্চিত মোর জীবন ভরে, বহু বাসনায় প্রাণপণে চাই, বঞ্চিত করে বাঁচালে মোরে। না চাহিতে মরে যাব ছদান, আকাশ আলোক তনু মন প্রাণ। না চাহিতে মরে যাব ছদান, আকাশ আলোক তনু মন প্রাণ। দিনে দিনে তুমি নিতেছ আমায়, সে মহাদানেরই যোগ্য অতি ইচ্ছার সংকট হতে বাঁচায় মরে বহু বাসনায় প্রাণপণে চাই বঞ্চিত করে বাঁচালে মোরে আমি কখনো বা ভুলি কখনো বা চলি তোমার পথের লক্ষ্য ধরে তুমি নিষ্ঠুর সম্মুখ হতে যাও যে সরে এই যে তব দয়া জানি জানি হায় নিতে চাও বলে ফিরাও আমায় এই যে তব দয়া জানি জানি হায় নিতে চাও বলে ফিরাও আমায় পূর্ণ করিয়া লবে এ জীবন তব মিলনেরই যোগ্য করে আধা ইচ্ছার সংকট হতে বাঁচায় মোরে বহু বাসনায় প্রাণপণে চাই বঞ্চিত করে বাঁচালে মোরে আমি বহু বাসনায় প্রাণপণে চাই বঞ্চিত করে বাঁচালে মোরে
Oh, stunning.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Sasha, before you go to your next song, I've got a question for you. You were saying about the words, the way Rohini was saying "habe habe," and when we were listening to this song as well. So, how do you think that how important it is to scan and interpret the lyric of Tagore's song or the words before you learn to sing that song?
Yeah, it's well, I think it's of utmost importance, right? Because as we all know, Rabindranath's songs are not more about the poetry, they're not more about the music, but it's a fine balance. He himself always wanted that, right? So music is the spiritual realm, but in our human world, it's the words that do any song their particular justice. So unless you can understand what you're saying, and unless you can convey what you're saying, more importantly, then it basically just becomes an exercise in vocal acrobatics, right? Anything else, just enjoying the sound of your own voice. But these songs have a depth and a meaning that is meant to be conveyed, that is meant to either give hope or to bring people through crises, or just to make them feel love and to feel beauty. And you really won't get to the real essence of it unless you do. So, it's a constant challenge for us, those of us who sing. I suspect that most of us are, in the habit of reading the song over and over and over, and knowing exactly where to take a breath so that you can say a full sentence in its completion so that it makes sense what you're saying.
Right.
And at the same time, does it sound good musically when you do that, and what to do in order to find that right balance? So it's like that. Most of the work is that, because people who come to Rabindra Sangeet generally are people who, have a good voice, and people like to hear their voice, but then to take it to the next level, obviously, you have to really do the poetry justice.
Right. Rohini, would you like to add anything to this? Like, I asked this question. One of the reasons was the both of you have come to a stage in life that you became gurus, both of you, that you have lots of students. How do you
I'd never
encourage your
call myself a guru, but yeah, I do some teaching.
yeah,
That's for sure.
like
Yeah.
how do you encourage your students to go through the process Sasha has mentioned?
Yes, I completely agree with Sasha that they must understand the meanings. I don't expect my students who are very young, kids, to understand all the meanings, but still, I try to uh, explain them in their own ways, some the lyrics, so that they can understand something of what they're singing. Because other than that, as Sashada has said, it's just an acrobatics with tunes and words, which
Yeah,
is Robindra Sangit is not about that. You must
right.
internalize the meaning and the essence of the song. So yeah, it's very important. Even the grown-ups, they also don't always care to read through the lines and understand the meanings. They just sing it like habitually, which
Mm.
is, I think, which is not real, not doing justice to the songs.
Yeah,
So
and the
it's very
meanings become
important.
different. Meanings become different at different stage of life with different life experiences all the time. We find different meanings
Yes,
from
of
a song
course,
we've been singing probably for ages. Okay,
of
Sasha,
course.
sorry we were talking too much. We kind
No,
of
no, this is
distracted
precisely
you
the kind of
from
thing
where
that
you are going to sing. So it's all yours now.
well, where to take it from here? In keeping with that notion of sending out a message of understanding something and singing it because it actually means something to you. So here we are in the middle of a pandemic, and we're seeing our loved ones perish, and at the same time, we have to keep that faith that. Just as in the song that Rohini just sang, that through the trials and tribulations, actually, that will guide the path, and we can grow from sorrow, and that there's an ever new nitto nuton. Um, we have to hold on to that faith. So a song about that right now from Orup Ratan. So my withered leaves, as they go, they always knock on the door of the new leaves. আমার জীর্ণ পাতা, আমার জীর্ণ পাতা, যাবার বেলায় বারে বারে ডাক দিয়ে যায় নতুন পাতার দ্বারে দ্বারে, জীর্ণ পাতা, আমার জীর্ণ পাতা, তাই তো আমার এই জীবনের বনচ্ছায়ে ফাগুন আসে ফিরে ফিরে দক্ষিণ বায়ে, নতুন সুরে গান উড়ে যায় আকাশ পারে, নতুন রঙে ফুল ফোটে তাই ভারে ভারে, জীর্ণ পাতা, আমার জীর্ণ পাতা, ওগো আমার নিত্য নূতন দাঁড়াও হেসে, চলবো তোমার নিমন্ত্রণে নবীন বেশে, দিনের শেষে নিভল যখন পথের আলো, সাগর তীরে যাত্রা আমার যে ফুরালো, তোমার বাসি বাজে সাঁঝের অন্ধকারে শূন্যে আমার উঠল তারা সারে সারে জীর্ণ পাতা আমার জীর্ণ পাতা
This nitto nito is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. Stand in front of me in your new attire. Stand in front of me. My ever new,
Right.
stand in front of me in front of it. Just it's like you can picture whatever it means to you, whatever Nitto Nuton means to you, you can just picture it right there with those words in that tune.
Yes.
When I was a kid, when I listened to this song first as a kid, I used to think that this is a song of spring. It's a Boshanto song because of
Yeah.
this Nitto Nuton Jirno Pata Phagun. Then I was surprised when I found it in the Bichitro Porjay. But now when you sang it today, I was feeling it could have been a Puja Porjay song as well.
Absolutely. Isn't that always what happens with Rabindranath
Yes.
songs, right? There's this
Right.
strange and beautiful overlap between love and puja and nature. Nature becomes you. It's all interlinked.
Yes, absolutely. Mm.
Coming back to you, Rohini, talking about puja and all spirituals, and Sasha has talked about the divine and all this, that you were born in a Brahmo family, right?
Right.
So from a very young age, you were exposed to the Brahmo Samaj, Maghotsav, and all these prayers and all these songs. So have you
Yes.
got any memories or any songs or anything you can think about from that exposure
Yes,
in
of
your
course.
life? Yeah.
Coming from a Brahmo family, one thing has become very normal to me, that is using music for any kind of celebration or commemoration, or even when somebody dies. It's a ritual for the Brahmos to include music in the last rites and in the upasana. So music and songs are an integral part of the Brahmo, an entire Brahmo spiritualism. And one Brahmo Shongit I can remember right now, which is very much attuned with today's theme, because it straight talks about the resilience again. It says, "Bishade hoye hoye mniyoman, bondho na koriyo gan." That means even when you are really down with grief, don't stop your music. Don't stop singing.
Beautiful.
This lines like these keep us going. So let me sing that. নিবিড় ঘন আধারে জ্বলেছে ধ্রুব তারা, মনোরে মোর আধারে হোসনে দিশেহারা, নিবিড় ঘন আধারে বিষাদে হয়ে প্রিয়মান, বন্ধ না করিও গান, বিষাদে হয়ে প্রিয়মান, বন্ধ না করিও গান, সফল করি তোলো প্রাণ, টুটিয়া মোহকারা, মনোরে মোর আধারে হোসনে দিশেহারা, নিবিড় ঘন আধারে রাখিও বল জীবনে, রাখিও চির আশা, শোভনকে ভুবন ভালোবাসা রাখিও বলো জীবনে রাখিও চির আশা শোভন ভুবনে রাখিও ভালোবাসা সংসারের সুখে দুঃখে চলিয়া যেও হাসি মুখে ভরিয়া সদা রেখো বুকে আহারে সুধাধারা মনোরে মোর পাথারে হোসলে দিশে হারা নিবিড় ঘন আধারে জ্বলেছে ধ্রুব তারা মনোরে মোর পাথারে হোসলে দিশে হারা নিবিড় ঘন আধারে.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
So it talks about the keeping the faith alive, keeping the hope alive, even amidst darkness.
Right. Brilliant. Yeah, coming back to you again, Sasha. You've mentioned earlier that you've traveled a long way for your passion for music. And I think, again, your move to the UK is also for the same reason, I guess.
It is, right. So after I moved to India, I did Rabindra Sangeet there for several years. And then I've always had an interest in the theater as well. And so I thought, let me take a chance and apply to the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama to do an MA in musical theater. And I did that. And it was pretty much the best experience of my life, actually, I have to say. And Rabindranath, of course, didn't escape. So I remember when it came time to doing a sustained independent project, it's essentially a thesis, right? We were supposed to do something that meant something important to us, and we had to perform it as well. And I had thought, what if I do something like, can Rabindranath's plays, musical plays, be presented in English while retaining their essence and their spirit? And many people still believe, I think, that it's not possible because Rabindranath is so very much linked to the Bengali language. He was certainly westernized in certain ways, but I think that he genuinely loved everything that the Bengali language had to offer him. And that's why the vast body of his work was done in Bengali, because even though he was very self-effacing, his English was actually very good. Even those translations in Gitanjali were his, right? And that's what touched the world. So I decided to do that, and I did several scenes from Tasher Desh, and it ended up being quite a success. So Rabindranath, I have not been able to escape Rabindranath wherever I do. So whether it be doing Bend It Like Beckham the musical or doing Shakespeare at the Minack Theatre, Rabindranath is still always there, and I'm trying to workshop these songs and these plays right now here in English.
Right. So you've already answered my next question. I was going to ask you that how did your orientation to Rabindranath actually help you during these times of personal crisis, and especially the time we're going through now? Or can you relate with any song you would like to sing for us?
Well, absolutely. So, I mean, so there's, of course, that. The whole thing is that, again, so much of, if I want to call it a career, but it's really my life, hangs on the works of Rabindranath. And, well, we just keep talking about it over and over and over. It's very difficult for somebody who's not Bengali, I think, to understand just the impact that Rabindranath has had. So people always say, you know, he's the Shakespeare of Bengalis, but I think he's even more than that. Do you know what I mean? Just because of the variety, yeah, I'm sure all of you agree. Just because of the variety, and like I said, he's the one poet that I feel whenever somebody actually performs something of his, you feel like it's yours. You know, when you perform Shakespeare, of course, it's the most brilliant thing in the world, but at the same time, it remains on this level where you can see it objectively, and appreciate it for being somebody's brilliant work. And then you try and get into that character and present that character. But with his, so naturally it flows that, you know, his words become your own. And, you know, it's very tough here because everything has shut down right now. So theater, I came to do musical theater here, but all the theaters have been shut down. And right now, those of us who are performing, I think most of us, you know, we're relying on online classes to get by. And still, you know, you go on. So you never want to give up, and that's sort of I guess his words have definitely given me courage to continue doing that. So, but there's a common theme throughout Rabindranath's songs, which is setting sail on stormy seas. I will set sail, and I know that I'll reach my destination. Sometimes he even says, even if I don't reach my destination, I'm still going to set sail, because what point is there in just laying around? So I'd like to sing that song now. Ami marer সাগর পাড়ি দেব. আমি মারের সাগর পাড়ি দেব, ভীষণ ঝড়ের বায়ে আমার ভয় ভাঙায় নায়ে, আমি মারের সাগর পাড়ি দেব। মা ভৈবানীর ভরসা নিয়ে ছেঁড়া পালে বুক ফুলিয়ে, মা ভৈবানীর ভরসা নিয়ে ছেঁড়া পালে বুক ফুলিয়ে, তোমার ওই পারেতে যাবে তোরি ছায়া বটের ছায়ে, আমি মারের সাগর পাড়ি দেব। পথ আমারে সেই দেখাবে যে আমারে চায়, আমি অভয় মনে ছাড়ব তোরি এই শুধু মোর দায়, এই শুধু মোর দায়। দিন ফুরালে জানি জানি পৌঁছে ঘাটে দেব আনি, আমার দুঃখ দিনের রক্ত কমল তোমার করুণ পায়ে, আমি মারের সাগর পাড়ি দেব। ভীষণ ঝড়ের বায়ে আমার ভয় ভাঙায় নায়ে, আমি মারের সাগর পাড়ি দেব।
This gives you a lot of courage.
It does. Yeah, when you're singing Din Purale Jani Jani Ponche Ghate Debo Ani, I literally wanted to believe that there is an end to this pandemic. No matter how long it is, there is an end to it.
There is. I know it doesn't seem like it, but there most certainly is, right? We can't go on. This is no life then. So I think Rabindranath would have told us, if this is how you have to go on living your life in fear, then that's no life at all. Then let the next life come, because, you know, all of existence just is a cycle after all. You know, there is destruction, but then from that comes the rebirth, right?
That's right. So Rohini, we are coming to you next. What Sasha was saying, I was thinking that, going back to our original thought, second year in a row, we are celebrating a Boishakh in isolation. But we still believe that there is an end to that. So what is your thought on that, and what would you like to sing for us next?
The song that I'm going to sing next actually talks about বিচ্ছেদ বিচ্ছেদে তোর খণ্ড মিলন পূর্ণ হবে. So it talks about uh, getting the how should I explain this? Khondo Milan. It's so essentially Bengali, a word. But then
Right.
let's say that you will be reunited through the isolation some way.
Like
some
we
way.
are united in isolation now in
Like
some
we are
way. Say
united
the
now.
example
Yes.
right here.
Yes.
It's
And also
like
this
distance
song,
makes the heart. Sorry to cut you off. It's just you brought up such a good point that you know, distance makes the heart grow fonder, and so you realize what is actually precious to you when you are separated from it. So that's exactly what I think the song is about. Beautiful.
absolutely, very well put. And it also again talks about when all hope dies, then something which was beyond your hope comes to your life and stands in front of you. So that's why I've chosen this song. This is a part of Boshanto, the musical by Rabindranath, but it's very, very, very much relevant to us now. ওরে পথিক ওরে প্রেমিক বিচ্ছেদে তোর খণ্ড মিলন পূর্ণ হবে আয়ের সবে প্রলয় গানের মহোৎসবে ওরে পথিক ওরে প্রেমিক তাণ্ডবে আয় তপ্ত হাওয়ায় ঘূর্ণি লাগায় মত্ত ঈশান বাজায় বিষাণ শঙ্কা জাগায় ঝংকারিয়া উঠল আকাশ ঝঞ্ঝারবে আয়ের সবে প্রলয় গানের মহোৎসবে ওরে পথিক ওরে প্রেমিক ভাঙন ধরার ছিন্ন করার রুদ্রনাটে যখন সকল ছন্দ বিকল বন্ধ কাটে মুক্তি পাগল বৈরাগীদের চিত্ত কলে প্রেম সাধনার হোম হতাশন জ্বলবে তবে ওরে পথিক ওরে প্রেমিক সব সাজা যায় যখন উড়ে পড়ে আশার অতীত দাঁড়ায় তখন ভুবন জুড়ে স্তব্ধ বাণী নীরব সুরে কথা কবে আয়ের সবে প্রলয় গানের মহোৎসবে ওরে পথিক ওরে প্রেমিক.
It's such an unusual song too. Just not only musically, but what a great choice, Rohini, to sing this song. Actually, it's
Yeah.
Again, it becomes my own personal words. That's why
Yeah.
I thought I'll sing this.
I think we are not looking at the time. We have come a long way with this. So I am enjoying it so much listening to both of you that I'm forgetting about the time. I think we can keep going like this forever, I think. But as we said, there is an end to everything. I think we are coming closer to the end. So what I have listened so far from both of you, that you have established with this choice of songs once again that Tagore's belief in positive thinking and his belief in human resilience.
Mhm.
Am I right?
Yes, of course.
Nailed it.
Yeah,
The
so
idea
Sasha,
of eternal hope.
right, the idea of eternal hope, yeah. So Sasha, the name of our session today is Hobe Joy. So would you do us the honor of singing that iconic song?
Sure,
Or
absolutely. It
any
would be
thoughts
my
you have
honor.
about that song? If you would like to share any thoughts you have about that song.
Are you? Did you ask me?
Yeah.
Oh yes. Well, it's a very favorite song of mine because this is a song from Phalguni, the
Right.
play Phalguni, which talks about the cycle of life and death, which keeps coming and
Hmm.
which it's never an end, but a cycle. And it's a song by the character Ondho Baul,
On the
who
bowl.
shows us the way through this journey of life and
Hmm.
death. So it's a very, very favorite song of mine. And whenever I listen to it, I really have goosebumps. The kind of resilience that is conveyed through this, the kind of hope that is conveyed through the words. And personally, I've heard Sasha singing this song a number of times, and I really love it in his voice. So yeah, I'm waiting for him to sing it.
Oh my God. Well, I've been influenced by people like, in this case, it wouldn't be you, it would be your father. And I've also heard him because my guru, Srimati Promita Mullik, had actually shared a clip with me of him singing this particular song actually, and yeah, it moved me. It moved me so much. So again, but I guess Rabindranath deserves most of the credit, but there are people like him who bring Rabindranath to you in such a fresh way, and then you just take it and make it your own. হবে জয় হবে জয় হবে জয় রে ওহে বীর হে নির্ভয় হবে জয় হবে জয় জয়ী প্রাণ চির প্রাণ জয়ী রে আনন্দ গান জয়ী প্রেম জয়ী খেম জয়ী জ্যোতির্ময় রে ওহে বীর হে নির্ভয় হবে জয় হবে জয় এ আধার হবে ক্ষয় হবে ক্ষয় রে ওহে বীর হে নির্ভয় এ আধার হবে ক্ষয় হবে ক্ষয় রে ওহে বীর হে নির্ভয় ছাড়ো ঘুম মেলো চোখ অবসাদ দূর হোক আশার অরুণালোক হোক অভ্যুদয় রে ওহে বীর হে নির্ভয় হবে জয় হবে জয় হবে জয় রে ওহে বীর হে নির্ভয় হবে জয় হবে জয়
Amazing.
Amazing. Sasha, I must say, I was having goosebumps when you were singing this
Oh,
song. I never
thank you.
had the privilege to listen to you live. I am living with that hope that someday I will have that opportunity.
Like I said, this one time
Yes.
is online. No more. After that, it'll all be live.
Yes. We hope no more. Yes. I think we have almost come to the end of this session today. Before I go to the concluding part, would you both like to say anything?
I would again like to, it's not actually to everybody, but to myself as well. Would like to reassure everybody and myself that yes, we shall overcome this dark times, and e andhar hobe khoy, hobe joy. So yes, sending prayers to everybody who's watching this program today. And thank you, Nilanjana Di, for bringing us in on this very special day on Potishe Boishakh. This is a real honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm glad that Rohini brought it up because I probably would have forgotten it, knowing my nature. But yes, Nilanjana, I'd love to thank you for this kind of a program, which isn't just about, showcasing our singing, but rather it's about getting us through this horrible time. And it's so rare. I told you this, in our conversations on WhatsApp, but it's so rare these days to actually have meaningful conversations anymore. It's all just about kind of the flash and go on, move on. So I really appreciate being a part of this as well. And it being Rabindranath's birthday, Boishakh, which falls on any given day in May, just so happens to be May 9th this year. He sang a song that we all know that's become like an anthem to us about his own birthday. It's one of the very last songs that he wrote. And I don't think that he has managed to provide hope so much in any other song as in this one, where he's talking about his very own birth. And let me see that moment when I was first born again and again. Let me see that over and over and over. So this Nitto Nuton, it just keeps coming back. So with your permission, what I would love to do is if we could do that song, He Nuton Dakadi Karbar, and I've actually done a humble translation of it. And for those of us who don't understand Bengali, I hope to, reach out to those people just a little bit, just to see exactly what it means. And this is why I also love why Rohini has read out the poems in English. I think that's really hit home so much, the depth of the words that we're talking about, that we can't, we keep talking about it like it's a crush almost, because it really is. It's songs of the soul.
Yes.
Thank you, Sasha. We actually cannot do a program of Pochishe Boishakh with that song. We cannot. So we have to sing that song. And thank you for bringing your translation and singing it for us today. Before we go to that, I would like to clarify what you said, that the whole point of today's conversation being in English is that people around the world, especially our children, our second generation migrant like us, we are raising them in here, they probably would be able to relate at least some part of with it. If we did it completely in Bangla, we probably would have lost them. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted people to be able to relate with this. And what can I say to you two? Like তোমাদের দুজনের কাছে আমার অসীম কৃতজ্ঞতা. I thank you on behalf of my organization. Thank you from the bottom of my heart that you have come today. And I'm pretty sure people around the world, whoever's watching us, that will give them a lot of hope, and this will help them become resilient in this tough time. And I think you have, yes, Rohini, you want to say something?
I just said that I hope so too.
And probably you have also proved a point that there is always a need to rediscover Rabindranath and his teaching and his words.
Certainly.
Yeah, so without much delay, I think I'm going to take your leave. I am leaving it to you two to end today's session. Tagore, the Harbinger of Hope.
Thank you. দেখা দেখারবার জন্মেরও প্রথম শুভক্ষণ হে নূতন দেখা দেখারবার জন্মেরও প্রথম শুভক্ষণ তোমার প্রকাশ কুহেলিকা করি উদ্ঘাটন সূর্যের মতন হে নূতন দেখা দেখারবার জন্মেরও প্রথম শুভক্ষণ come.
Hail the new, once more as the first blessed moment of life, let me see you. Hail the new, once more as the first blessed moment of life, let me see you. May you manifest anew as the sun unraveling the mist shines through. Hail the new, once more as the first blessed moment of life, let me see you.
রিক্ততার বক্ষ ভেদে আপনারে কর উন্মোচন। ব্যক্ত হোক জীবনের জয়, ব্যক্ত হোক মাঝে অসীমের চির বিস্ময়। উদয় দিগন্তের শঙ্খ বাজে, মোর চিত্ত মাঝে। উদয় দিগন্তের শঙ্খ বাজে, মোর চিত্ত মাঝে। চিরনূতনের বিলাট পঁচিশে বৈশাখ, হে নূতন দেখা দিক আরবার জন্মের প্রথম শুভক্ষণ।
Pierce the chest of emptiness, reveal yourself whole and true. Declare life victorious, declare the endlessness within you, ever glorious. The bells are tolling on the dawning skyline. Within this heart of mine, the bells are tolling on the dawning skyline. Within this heart of mine, the avenue is called upon today. The 9th of May, hail the new, hail the new. Once more as the first blessed moment of life, let me see you.